And welcome, everybody. We are live here on Facebook and on ktgl.com. And there's a show coming up on June 6th, and it's a Sunday, 4 p.m. It's out on the Lead Center, Kimball Hall Green Space. Lawn chairs, blankets, welcome. And we have Bill Stephan from the Lead Center here. Hi, how you doing? Been a long time since I've seen you.
It has been too long. Yes, great to be here. Great to see you.
Yeah, and it's great that you guys have totally redone the vent system there at the Lead Center. It's probably one of the safest venues in the country to go see a show during a pandemic. And I'm trying to remember the last time I was there, but it was a few months ago, and it was a great, fun show. And felt very comfortable because you guys had it perfectly seated. But of course, now we're coming out of the pandemic, and you guys have just announced a whole bunch of great shows. Broadway back in Lincoln, and we'll talk about that here in a sec. But for my rock fans, I wanted to talk about this Billy McGuigan show and his orchestra presenting a high energy concoction of rock and roll mega hits and a unique live concert experience. Can you talk a little bit about that show coming up in June?
Sure. Well, Billy McGuigan is one of Nebraska's most talented and I would probably say arguably popular artists, and he's based out of Omaha. And every year he sells out the Omaha Community Playhouse, for weeks. Like 7, 8 shows a week. I mean, he's really popular. And the first time I got to know him and his talents, he did a Buddy Holly show. And he tours all over the world performing rock and roll's greatest hits. And we've never presented him at the Lead Center before. He's been on my list to have at the Lead for a long time. And we're thrilled that we're finally bringing his talent to Lincoln. And the best of all for everybody, that it's a free concert. So
yeah, I was just getting ready to say the price is right.
And it's outside. It's in the beautiful sculpture garden, on the campus, it's where Sheldon and Kimball, right in the Lead Center. It's a fabulous place. Many people, attend Jazz in June, and are familiar with it. It's the same space, but we have a different stage location. The stage location is front of Kimball Hall rather than being in front of Sheldon. And but you'll be hearing the rock and roll's greatest hits, mostly from the 60s and 70s and 80s. But it's amazing how Billy can go from singing the Beatles to Billy Joel and not miss a beat, and just a wide variety of styles. And while they call it a pop rock orchestra, it's a big rock band.
Right on.
And they're fantastic musicians. Some of the top musicians in our state, and it's a Broadway quality show. It's a great production, and I'm thrilled. We have a wide variety of actually outdoor programming this year, as it's, recommended by the CDC. The outside is a great place to enjoy events this summer. And a lot of, surveys have been out nationally that, including locally too, that people feel more comfortable, getting out for the first time in an outdoor setting. And so we thought, well, let's do some outdoor programming. And so Billy McGuigan is our first event, and it's also part of Arts Across Nebraska. And we normally tour artists across the state every year as part of our statewide mission as part of the University of Nebraska. And so while this concert is in Lincoln, we'll be streaming the concert at different locations all over the state.
Cool.
And it's if you're not in Lincoln and want to watch this concert, be sure to check in with us. And there's a good chance you can watch it online. And it's also will be free online as well. So it's a great concert, lots of great entertainment.
And you guys just announced the 2021-2022 season, and it kicks off with a bunch of fun for the Parrot Heads. The Jimmy Puppet Escape to Margaritaville coming up September 10th through the 12th. And tell us about some of the, like Jersey Boys is coming, and tell us about some of the other bigger Broadway shows coming.
Sure. Well, we're so excited to be the Nebraska premiere of Escape to Margaritaville. And I had a chance to see the show on Broadway. And if you love Jimmy Buffett, or even if you like Jimmy Buffett, you've got to come to this show. I mean, it's just a hit parade. All of his hits are in this show, and he helped make the show. He helped create it. And it's a party. I mean, everybody's going to be wearing festive Hawaiian shirts at the Lead Center. It's on a football game weekend. It's going to be a party, margaritas before the show.
Nice.
it's going to be a lot of fun. It's a party show, lots of great dancing. And then we've got, as you mentioned, Jersey Boys, one of the most popular Broadway shows of all time, returning to the Lead Center. All those Frankie Valli songs. We've got Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, based on the book. Also, the movie. You're familiar with Pure Imagination and the Candyman and all those songs that were part of the movie, and those are all in the musical. And I had a chance to see it on Broadway, and it's a fantastic family show, that follows that wonderful classic story. A show that you may not have heard of, but some of you may have, but it won 10 Tony Awards, and it's never been in Nebraska before, and it's called The Band's Visit. And this is a really inspirational show. It's a comedy. It's a show that we have two shows. Come From Away also falls in. It's about human nature and how we're good people. That people want to take care of each other and help each other. And both of these stories, The Band's Visit and Come From Away, tell the story of people that are in a unique circumstance where they're strangers in a community. They don't belong. And the community comes out and says, hey, we want to help you, come be with us. And this Band's Visit, this band gets stranded on their bus tour. And Come From Away is about when on 9/11, when all the planes couldn't land in America. And so all these giant airplanes from all over landed in this place called Gander, Newfoundland. It's based on real stories. And the small town took thousands of people and took care of them for days. And they were totally unprepared for it, but they opened their homes, they opened up their wallets, they opened up their refrigerators, they opened up their pantries, and to help all these people. And they ended up, people got married. They met people on this, in Newfoundland while they were stuck there, and they got married. They had best friendships. They have reunions, and it's based on a real life story. It's lots of dancing and music, and it's a really interesting twist on 9/11.
Right on. I got time for one more to talk about because It was just announced today. The Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is finally inducting Carole King into the class of 2021 Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And I know on February 11th through the 13th, Beautiful, the Carole King musical. My wife has been begging me to take her to see this, and it's finally coming to the Lead Center. Tell us about that.
Yeah, Beautiful is one of the best Broadway shows of all time. And it's, as you watch the show, you will be amazed on how many hits Carole King really wrote or sang herself. It's equally as great as Jersey Boys. It's kind of interesting because both of the shows are feel good, just jam packed full of these songs that you know and love. It's going to be a show that everybody's really going to enjoy. You get to learn the story of Carole King as part of the show. She had a really interesting career in life, and so you hear about how her songs came about and how her career developed.
And it's great to see it, and we're not having to travel so far away. Carole King tune there.
Yes,
Bill, we go to theleadcenter.org to find out about all of these shows, correct?
Yes. Season tickets, are on sale now. You can also buy extras. We've got Bernadette Peters coming, Riverdance, Madagascar for the kids, something for everyone. We actually have 9 different Broadway attractions, the most we've ever had in our history in any one season. So,
after a year off because of the pandemic, you guys have come back gangbusters, and it's going to be exciting and very fun, and looking forward to seeing a bunch of these shows. And we invite everybody to go to leadcenter.org. And of course, we'll hopefully have maybe some tickets to give away to these shows from the Eagle throughout the next year. So just stay tuned. And Bill Stephan of the Lead Center, thank you so much for being here today. Appreciate it.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me on.